let's talk about the silent panic that keeps you up at night. It's the feeling you get right after hitting confirm purchase on a trendy new item, or after tapping send on the Venmo request for a spontaneous trip. In that moment, your heart sinks because you know the truth. You can't afford this. You're a functional adult. You pay your bills. You work hard. And if anyone looks at your social media, they see a life full of fun, travel, and cool clothes. But behind the scenes, you're stressed, living paycheck to paycheck, and sinking into debt. This is for anyone struggling with the immense, invisible burden of being broke, but needing to look rich. This isn't just a financial problem. It's a psychological crisis. We are the first generation to be constantly pressured to buy experiences and goods, not for enjoyment, but purely to maintain a curated image of success. The high cost of looking like you're winning is the exhaustion of living a lie, and the first step to freedom is acknowledging the immense, crippling performance debt you're carrying. The two invisible debts. When we talk about being broke, we usually only focus on financial debt, student loans, credit cards, or rent. That's the visible enemy. But for the 18 to 25 age group, there is a far more destructive force: performance debt. The nature of performance debt. Performance debt is the emotional and financial cost of purchasing things and experiences that you don't actually want or need, but that are necessary to signal success to your peers. Think about the purchases that fall into this category. The $18 cocktail. You don't like cocktails, but you need to be at the trendy bar that evening to be seen with the right people. The spontaneous trip. You can't afford the plane ticket, but you can't bear the shame of seeing your friends post photos without you. The aesthetic apartment. You pay $300 more in rent for a unit with better light or a stylish neighborhood because you need it to look like the backdrop of a successful life. Even though the difference in rent causes actual hunger at the end of the month, the actual debt gets bigger. Your integrity drops. You feel terrible because you are lying, and you know you are lying. You look at your feed and hate yourself for contributing to the very problem that makes you feel bad. The culture of impossible perfection. This performance debt leaves you in a continuous trap. You're broke because you're performing, and you're performing because you're ashamed of being broke. The tyranny of social currency. Why does this generation feel this pressure so acutely? Because the currency of social standing has fundamentally changed. Currency shift from ownership to experience. For previous generations, status was signaled through ownership, a house, a car, retirement savings. These things took time and were private. For your generation, status is signaled through experiences, which are expensive, immediate, and public. You are constantly judged by the visible, documented experiences you participate in. If your life isn't a constant, documented highlight reel of travel, unique events, and spontaneity, your social worth diminishes. You are forced into an always-on consumption loop where you have to buy the next cool thing or book the next trip just to stay relevant. You're not buying happiness. You are buying social currency, the ticket that proves you're still in the game. And the FOMO engine, the fear of exclusion. The fear of missing out, FOMO, is not just about missing a party, it's about missing the social ladder. When your friends post a photo from a group dinner you couldn't afford to attend, the anxiety isn't about the food. It's the terrifying realization that life is moving on without you. You fear that if you say no to an expensive trip, the unspoken consequence is being permanently excluded from that inner circle of friends or opportunities. This emotional cost of exclusion often feels heavier than the financial cost of the event itself. We are socially conditioned to believe that social capital is more important than financial capital, leading us to drain our bank accounts to protect our perceived social standing. The failure of financial literacy, emotional. We are taught financial literacy based on spreadsheets and interest rates, but we are never taught emotional financial literacy. No one teaches you how to handle the feeling of shame when you tell a friend, "I can't afford that." No one teaches you how to disconnect your sense of self-worth from your net worth. This lack of emotional training leaves us vulnerable to marketing and peer pressure. We use consumption as a cheap, temporary form of therapy. When you feel anxious or sad about your life, buying something, even if you can't afford it, gives you a fleeting sense of control, status, and reward. It's a self-soothing mechanism that is financially and emotionally catastrophic in the long run. The path to financial honesty. To break the cycle of performance debt, you have to prioritize internal peace over external applause. This requires a radical mental shift. Step 1. Separate your worth from your wealth. You must intentionally and consciously disconnect your sense of value from your spending habits. The only person who cares how much you spent on your shoes is someone who is already insecure about their own life. Your worth is based on your character, your integrity, and the quality of your relationships, none of which are visible on your bank statement. Practice the affirmation, "My financial reality is information for me, not a performance for others." Step 2. Embrace the undocumented joy. Stop rewarding yourself with consumption that requires documentation. Intentionally seek out undocumented joy, experiences that are cheap, meaningful, and have no social media value. A long walk with an audiobook. A simple dinner cooked at home with a partner or friend. Mastering a cheap hobby like reading, drawing, or coding. When you spend your time and your money on things that genuinely bring you internal satisfaction, you break the cycle of spending for external applause. You are retraining your brain to find happiness in authenticity, not aesthetics. Step 3. Master the financial no. This is the most uncomfortable but most necessary skill. You must learn to decline expensive invitations without shame, apology, or explanation. When a friend invites you to a costly event, do not say, "I can't afford it. I'm so poor, don't hate me." That invites pity and makes the situation awkward. Instead, Use a boundary setting response. That sounds fun, but I'm sitting this one out. Have a great time. I can't make it to that one, but I'd love to grab a cheap coffee with you later this week. You are setting a boundary, offering an alternative, and most importantly, you are not apologizing for your financial reality. Your true friends will respect your boundary. Those who don't were only ever interested in the performance anyway. The true definition of winning. The truth is, everyone in your age group is feeling this pressure. The person posting the perfect vacation photo might have taken out a personal loan for it. The only way to win this game is to stop playing. Your real victory is not about your net worth. It is about your net peace. The most successful thing you can do right now is build a life that is financially sustainable and emotionally authentic. Be the person who is brave enough to sit out the performance, the person who doesn't need to lie about their finances, and the person who finds joy in the quiet, undocumented reality of their own life. That is the only version of winning that truly lasts.